Yeah. And we are live. We are live. We are live on all channels. And we are also live on Instagram. Hello. Amazing. Well, happy Monday. Happy Martin Luther King Day. And thank you for being here with us, even though this is a holiday, right? And we're talking about that just before we got started. That a holiday is sometimes the excuse of why you do things, or sometimes why you do things. DJ was sharing with us today that he gets people training more on holidays because they're not at work. So that's pretty awesome. And today is the first day of our metabolic reset challenge. And we all got started. We have almost 200 people doing it together. And this is awesome because you get the energy of the community doing it as a team. Oh, that's cool, Marcus. Does it work for mine too? It didn't work for mine. So when Marcus does the double,
Oh my God.
okay, it gives fireworks. Amazing. Okay, you can stop now, buddy.
Hilarious.
Call me Glow.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Good morning.
We're also still figuring out the platform where we have our logo, and our logo is around his face, but you still can manage to move a little bit and you can see it directly perfectly. Okay, so we are live on Facebook too, on YouTube, and on Instagram. So we have right now 11 different channels that are live, and this is through StreamYard. So if you've never used StreamYard, I don't work for them, I don't get anything from them, but I think they're pretty awesome. It's working amazing for what we're trying to do, for what we're doing. So first day of the challenge, I got my shake here. So people ask me what's in the challenge, right? So in the challenge I shared a 30-day meal plan with recipes and a grocery list, so you could get set up for success and be good to go today. And that's what we did during the weekend. We got our ingredients, we got the things that we needed, and we got our system. So this is something I want to clarify for all the challengers. So some people have chosen to do the whole system. And this is how we got introduced to the system, right? This is the MetaPWR system. It's a whole system. Okay. So you have 5 parts to it, essentially, because the blend of the essential oils and the capsules, these are soft gels, they're essentially the same thing. They're just in different delivery form. Okay. So if you're doing the full system, awesome. Go for it. If you've been doing it like all of us here, we have been doing the full system. So this is easy for us to assimilate, right? Granted, one is a bubble gum. So it's a sachet gum. How you guys say that? Satiation gum? Yeah.
Satiating go.
Satiating.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Sexy gum. Call it sexy gum. It'll be easy. Okay, it's a
It makes
sexy
you
gum.
feel full.
You know what, DJ? Our line used to be called Slim and Sassy. And then for men, it's a little weird. Right? Yeah.
I would say most heterosexual guys probably wouldn't go for slim and sassy.
Right?
That might not be it.
So this is the original Slim and Sassy, but it's been reformulated. Same ingredients, just a different ratio. Because of the studies they conducted, they researched it, conducted studies, and they could see that the new formula is way more effective. Okay. So if you're doing the full system, you can absolutely assimilate all of the parts. Awesome. Go for it. If you are new, okay, and anything that's new, when you have too many pieces to the puzzle, people get overwhelmed. For that reason, what we decided as a team, and also because of the educational events that we've been with Dr. Riggs, who is incredible, and hopefully one day it's a dream, we'll get him on here. But I've planted that seed. And he talked about that there are 2 things that he would recommend people to take every single day. If you cannot do anything and you can't remember things, that's a memory issue. That's another thing that's going to get better with the MetaPWR. You do 2 things. The Advantage, which is the sachet, right, that we often, Christina is holding it there too. We often talk about easy to carry. This is the rocks. This is the superstar of our system. Okay. And the other one is the probiome. So probiome is a not only probiotics but also prebiotics. Christina is holding it there for you, and it has a double encapsulation technology as well for the delivery system to be even more efficient, and it's incredible. It works, right? So those two items are the items that we have been focused on with this challenge. So if you have those two items, and some of you have the other one, which is the MetaPWR Assist. So some people have the whole system, some people have MetaPWR Advantage and Probiome, and some people have the sachet, the MetaPWR Advantage, and the MetaPWR Assist. Okay. So if you are doing the whole system, you know exactly what to do because you read all of the instructions. If you're doing just the MetaPWR Advantage with the probiome, we say take it in the morning. Okay.
But we also have the sachet, the probiotic sachet, so the probiome sachet too. So some people are doing the sachet advantage, which is the collagen, and then the sachet probiotic.
Yes, which is this one. So my bag is like Pandora's box. If you open it, all kinds of stuff come out. So so this is the sachet. These are the sticks. Okay. If you're doing the probiome with the advantage, do it in the morning. I'm going to speak for me first, and then I want you all to share how you do it. What I recommend and I do for myself is you either break the fast with the advantage and already take the probiome, or you do if you do fasting, because I fast and I do well with it, I do it after when I'm done with my training. So after, as a post-workout, it is awesome because your body really is ready to absorb all that goodness. Okay, so I want to ask you guys, how do you use the advantage? What's the time? How many times a day? If you do once, twice?
We can go ahead and start if you want. We do early in the morning the advantage, the collagen. We do like a little bit more than a shot. We have a little bottle, and we just cold water first thing in the morning before anything. We just take that one, and the probiotic we take when we come back from workout. So we do our supplements. When we come back, we make a little protein shake, and then we take all of it when we come back.
I noticed that taking all the pills with a smoothie is so much better.
Especially, just water.
Especially if there is more than 5, sometimes 10. So smoothie works really, really well.
Yes.
I speak by experience.
We are big fans of the supplements, or the doTERRA supplements, not just I mean, we love the MetaPWR system, but we also take the Deep Blue. We also take turmeric. We do it all. We do the On Guard. So it's a lot of pills. So, and we do that with our protein shake after workout. Yes.
I usually take my routine is a little bit different, especially when I'm here in Hawaii. I actually schedule my exercise, which is my primary form of exercise, is surfing right now, and so I kind of schedule my day around the tide. I know that that's kind of a funny thing, but so I take my MetaPWR Advantage, the collagen. I like to take it either before or after I'm surfing, or and after if it's flat, then I usually try to do some kind of cardio, or I run the beach or run the sand. So for me, I found that works. And so it's not first thing in the morning. And that's the beauty of this, is you got to play around with what works for you. And I really feel like when my body either, I do it like a pre-workout, I guess, pre or post. And I just feel like if I do it before, it gives me an extra boost of energy. And then if I do it after, I just feel like it's very, hydrating. I feel like my body is just ready to just suck up any kind of nutrients.
I love it. So if you are we echoing? Okay, are we echoing now?
When I take my MetaPWR,
Oh. So
I like
we're learning the trick because we're in the same studio. So Teddy and I are in the studio. So if we're together, we have to mute, and we're getting better at it. So thank you for your patience.
Teddy, pay attention, Teddy.
All right. So for me, when I take my MetaPWR, I like to wake up in the morning. I used to be like a huge, wake up and do coffee in the morning, but now what I do is I actually juice some organic celery, and then I drink that first because I'm following this group called Human Garage, and it's a really interesting nutritional and fascial manipulation type of thing, and they also do bring you on a nutritional journey. So they do recommend they also talk about hydration, which is huge, and what we talked about last Thursday, right? A lot of people are dehydrated. They don't have the minerals that they need in their body, and it's just becoming a huge health crisis. And I think over this year, it's going to get pretty exponential what we're going to see. So I'm so proud of everybody who's joining this challenge right now, because you're taking the step in your life to take over control of your health. So awesome. I'm doing my celery juice in the morning. A little bit after that, I do my MetaPWR collagen, which I take in just like a little 5-ounce glass, because really you want to get it to your system as fast as possible. You don't want to prolong, as Dr. Riggs said, you want to get it in your system within, I think, 10 minutes. So you really don't want to be like, just chug it, guys. Pam mentioned last time she puts a little bit of water in her mouth, puts the sachet and drinks it, right? I think that's cool. I do a little bit more water. That's everybody does their own thing, right? But the goal, right, is to get it in your body quick. I do love the I obviously take the assist before my biggest meal of the day. And I actually do like the gum because it helps me when I'm out and about, like as a mom, doing my errands, doing my shopping, whatever I'm doing for the day. If I do get that like craving or whatnot, then I just pop in a gum and I'm okay for a little bit. But one thing I have noticed about the MetaPWR that's really important as a female, as a mom who's given up their life to their kids, is that it's helping me fix my metabolism, right? So for so long, I've been giving myself to my family, to my kids, and not paying attention to myself and my health. And so I'm, over time, not drinking enough water, not eating what I need to be eating, and not giving myself the proper nutrition. And that is what's so awesome about this program, is that it makes me thirsty. It makes sure that I'm drinking my water. It makes me hungry. And for others, it might make you not hungry. So that's the whole thing about the power of the MetaPWR. Power is that it works with your specific metabolism and what your body needs. Some people need to eat more because they're not listening to their brain saying, I'm hungry. Some people need to eat less because they're not paying attention to cues. And that's what this MetaPWR has such amazing ability to help you with, is that your own body will work with the tools that it's being given. So sorry to go off on that rant on how I use it, but that's the cool thing that I've noticed when I do take it. So make sure I take my sachet in the morning time. I usually do, if not a walk around my neighborhood, I do some sort of movement. I make sure to take my advantage during, the biggest meal of the day, and of course the gut thing too, the restore. My kids love it. It's cool. They love the new little sachet for the PB. So it's great that it's all encompassing for the whole family. Like really, truly, your whole family can be taking this.
I love that, Christina. Thank you. I think thinking about as a parent, right? So if you're a parent, I send extra love. Being a parent is hard. And everything that we become has a lot to do with how we were parented. So for our friend Paul Peters, I'm sending love to your parents, bud. Yeah, and to you too. So if that's why I feel like self-care is such an important thing, because when you take care of you and you put you in that driver's seat, as to I am not a victim, I am responsible for everything I say, do, and am. So things become much more fluid, right? And human beings, all we want is connection. And I'm bringing this up because there is some comments here from, I don't know if you're a gentleman or a lady, but that really when you have comments that you throw at people that are hurtful, and this is something we talked about yesterday, it's a merely mirror of yourself, right? So you're really speaking to yourself. So that projection comes from you not knowing you, from you not connecting with you, from you not knowing what you really want for you. And then you have to project it on other people. So I'm a big fan of self-care. I'm a big advocate for take care of your shit so you don't throw that on other people, because you are the person that has the power to do that. So we talk about self-care and challenges and things that are it seems to be sometimes a little bit more on the surface of things, but at the end of the day, when you really take care of you, it's way deeper, right? This becomes way. So that's why I'm so passionate about what I do. I'm passionate about what we do in this company, the way that we have positioned ourselves to really bring the science and the technology that is combined with nature, so nature can perform. And that is something that I feel is absolutely necessary, right? So take care of your heart too. Yeah, Paul. I don't have cats. Yeah, and but I do think they're super cute. But thank you for engaging, Paul. I hope you have incredible things to do today on your holiday for Martin Luther King Day. And so going back to our system, we also have another superstar in there that is the assist. So the assist, you have to take, we also call it like a carb blocker. And the carb blocker is something that I feel like it's a good hack. It's like a biohack type of tool. So if you're doing the MetaPWR Advantage and the carb blocker, which we call assist, this is what you do. You're going to take the advantage, just like we talked about, right? We're taking the advantage here. You do it, most of us do it during the day. This is a cool thing though. My husband, who is also my best friend and the love of my life, we've been together for 18 years, and we're going to bring some husbands on eventually here, because we're going to talk about how like Kane watches Teddy do this, and Luke watches me do this, and Marcus is here with us. And we do use it differently. So Luke uses it at nighttime because he had a hard time sleeping before, right? So now he sleeps well, but the MetaPWR Advantage for him at night helps him sleep. For me, if I take it at night, I don't sleep. So it gives me energy. So I have like a little bit of crazy dreams. I kind of sleep, but I don't sleep, It's like a weird in and out type of experience. So everybody is different. Your body's different. My body's different. So do what works for you. But as a trick, so yesterday was the day before the challenge. I don't know if you guys did this, but I went to the beach with the kids, right, to spend a little time before I go on a business trip tomorrow. And I had a glass of champagne, and I can feel it today, which is so interesting. But this is what I did. I took the assist before that, so I didn't spike when we ate a little bit more of what we usually don't, right? And I think it's a funny thing, the mind. You're like, oh, I started the challenge on Monday, so I'm just gonna go a little off on Sunday, right? So, and that's what I did. It was so much fun. But so if you want to use it as a hack, use that as something that you can use before maybe you go to a party, right? So sometimes you are in a social environment where you have to live too. You have to be with people, you connect with people. That's why we're here on this earth, right? We're here to connect. So I'm going on a business trip. We do have something more social that's happening. So I'm taking my assist with me, and that's my little biohack. And that's how I use it. So not only for your largest meal that you're going to have during the next 30 days, but also if you know that you're going to go someplace, maybe you be more proactive with it. So knowing maybe my willpower is I'm going to be really good when I get there. But once you get there, it's a little different, right? You're like, I'm here with friends. I'm going to have a little bit more of this and that. So at least you have something that you can trick your body with. Yeah. So how do you guys use your assist? What does it look like in your routine?
Well, I just wanted to say really quickly regarding that, like going on vacation and things. A lot of people feel like, oh, I shouldn't bring my system with me when I go on vacation, but please do, because it's going to help you in so many ways. Not only is it going to help with your immunity and like jet lag, if there's any of that potentially happening, it's going to help your gut as you travel, because I know a lot of us have gut issues as we travel, and maybe we're not digesting things as we normally do, so we're either um, stopped up or not, the opposite. So it's important to continue to take your MetaPWR wherever you go every day. And I think the biggest proponent of that is our amazing upline Andy Goddard and his family. They're always traveling the world, and he will tell you he goes to Mexico, he doesn't stop eating the food, and he loses weight. Like, who can say that except for people on MetaPWR? So anyway, go ahead, guys. What do you have to say?
I'll go ahead and share. Again, back to the immunity and the travel. I too am taking the probiotic, and I like to take the probiotic, either the sachet or the caplet, the PB Restore. I take it before dinner because I heard from somebody again that it's good to take it before dinner. It helps kind of, I don't know, coat the lining of the stomach and all that. So I like to take that during dinner. And then I have to say too that I traveled every month last year. I was flying to the mainland, and I went and did a trip to Greece, Europe, all over Las Vegas. And I was not sick one time, you guys. Like, I think the last time I had one of those colds, that whatever label you want to give it, was 2 years ago. So, and I don't wear a mask. So, that whole, you guys can believe whatever you want, but the defense, you have your own innate immune system, but you need to be fortifying it. And I really believe in the MetaPWR system and the probiome helping that. I took everything with me when I traveled. It takes a little bit of effort, but again, I would, make whatever 2 weeks, 3 weeks worth of, supplements. I throw them in a bag. I have, pill containers. I have, a special zip bag with all, everything. So it takes work, but in the long run, you have less doctor visits. I don't think I've been to a doctor in 2 years. So, yeah, and it saves money. Time is money. And then let's see, the assist. Okay, so the assist, I actually, again, try to save it for my biggest meal. And I usually, it goes back and forth between lunch or dinner. If I know that I'm going to be eating pasta or, something, a lot of bread, then I definitely try to save it for that meal. Last year I was, again, using it with, if I consume too much alcohol. When I was in Greece and Lisbon, eat food, I ate so much and drank so much. I was on a boat, I was on a catamaran. So, we were in celebration mode, birthday celebration mode. And again, I don't, this system allows for, they call it metabolic flexibility, where your metabolism, it just filters better. You're able to eliminate, the alcohols and sugars from your system faster. So
Love that, because it's also not a magic pill. But that's why we are here focusing on the challenge, because in the challenge we have habits. Well, it took me a while to had these habits down. And Susanna Marcus mentioned about the many supplements that we take. We are going to be covering this through the year. But the focus of the challenge, again, is for you to be able to instill these habits easily in your routine in 30 days. What sticks, sticks. What doesn't. It's all good, right? So if you are doing the challenge with us, I've been interacting in the group too. We have private groups that we give support and answer questions. So try as much as you can. It's optional. It's not, obviously you do whatever you want, but I do encourage everybody to try as much as they can to follow the meal plan, to follow the recipes that I shared on there, just so you see better results, especially because since we simplified the system and we're just doing two things, some people are just doing one thing. They're just doing the advantage. And just the advantage is incredible. So if you add that into your routine, you will feel a difference big time. Going back a little bit about the time that we take the collagen. So collagen that has the NMN, that's the star ingredient in our collagen. It helps. I feel like after working out, I've talked to a few trainers about this, and they always say, right? So do collagen after working out. People that run and do cardio for long periods of time. A friend of mine is a pro marathon runner. He does an hour before he does his training. So it depends also on the type of training. But because we're talking resetting metabolism and like revving it up, my focus too, I do recommend you do lifting. I love high intensity interval training type of workouts as well. So those are the ones that I recommend. I put an app that I use when I'm traveling in the group, so you can have access to that too. And that is good for you that maybe you're starting, you don't want to be in a social setting sometimes, so if you have an app, you get that done. And for after working out, the time of the collagen, it is perfect for rebuilding the breakdown of the muscles, right? When you're lifting and working out. So that is a great time to take. And because of the vitamin C that's in the advantage too, it helps the synthesis of the collagen in the muscles and tissues. Okay. So perfect post-workout. So if you are training, this is like the perfect post-workout for you. Okay. All right. So another topic here. How long did it take for you all to get these habits down and stick with it? Sue, start.
Well, when doTERRA launched MetaPWR 2022, September 2022, I decided that I need to move back because being a yoga teacher for so many years, dancer before, and then yoga after, and then I was just in the house working, meetings, Zooms, and things like that. So September 2022, when they launch, I'm like, okay, now is the time, and let's start something new. Let's do the whole thing. So we right away we start taking advantage. We start taking the MetaPWR system, and I start working out on a high intensity also workout. Me and Marcus, he was already doing that, and that make like a couple, even a month. I was already feeling my body different, and then. Pictures before and after, you could say that in 1 year it was huge. The difference was huge, not just physically, but the sharpness and more aware, more present. Sometimes we get that the mind fog kind of thing, that we are tired, and then with advantage, I fell right away. So that was amazing, really, right away. A couple of days taking it, my mind was just more sharp. And physically it took me like a month or two to start seeing the difference, and I was very dedicated. And yeah, I guess that's what I can share. Yeah, what about you?
Yeah, exactly. I just came back from workout, a similar workout as well, and I went with an empty stomach, and the very first thing I did when I came back was to take my advantage shot, and yeah, it's a great recover, post workout recover. I agree. I like that as well. But in general, more energy for sure, and you feel better overall. Everything just is is better. Sometimes you don't feel much because a lot is happening on the inside, especially with your tissues, right? You're strengthening the tissues. You're making your heart stronger. You're making everything stronger in general. And one thing that my personal trainer mentions a lot is for injuries, especially. I'm recovering from a Achilles tendinosis, as he calls it. It's essentially I got that from playing soccer for too long on the hard fields here in the soccer complex we have here on the island, and the tendon just got pounded too much for too long. And if you look at both of them, you see that the right side is actually thicker than the left side. So he prescribed a bunch of leg exercises, including calf exercises, and I do it every day. I've been doing it every day for more than 6 months now, for almost a year, and I see an improvement. They're almost at the same size. They're not hurting as much as they used to hurt when I was in pain, and when I was getting up in the morning. I was like, whoa, what is that? And it was really tight, right? So that's one of the things that the collagen helps you with as he works on recovering the tissues. And one thing he always mentioned, are you taking your collagen? And then since we're having the challenge, I was like, all right, coach, we're having a challenge. Are you in? He's like, definitely. So he's in the group right now, and I can't wait to hear his feedback as well. But that is one of the reasons why I take it as an athlete. If you're working out, that's one thing. Working out is great. It's awesome. It makes you feel better. I often say, like, think about it. Like you have all these things that you got to do during the day, and at the end of the day, you're just dead, right? Because you did so much. You're just so tired. And imagine working out in the beginning of the day before you do all the things that you got to do. You're going to be even more tired, right? However, on the day after, you're going to have more energy when you include your workouts to your routine, even though you did more than what you did just by doing your errands, the things that you got to do during the day, like take care of the kids and work and do all that. But then when you apply a workout session at the beginning of the day, and your next day is just going to be so much better, and the day after that, and the day after that. And if you follow DJ White, is he there? DJ White's recommendation, and work out every day. Don't skip 7 days a week. Then it's just like Schwarzenegger said that, right, DJ? He said, it's just like brushing my teeth or having breakfast. I gotta do it every day. If I don't, I'm missing something. And something is gonna happen to me and my body if I don't. So if you don't brush your teeth, you know what's gonna happen. If you don't have breakfast, you know what's gonna happen, and the things that you gotta do during the day. So just include that to your routine. Take the supplements that are gonna make you feel better. That are gonna make your performance improve, and your life is just going to be so much better.
Your mindsets, right? Stress, so you get out of the system.
Amazing. So since you brought that up about Jimmy, right? Jimmy and Mako, they're gonna be here soon. We already we're talking about them coming on, and we just need to set a date. And we have an amazing nutritionist as well. So going back a little bit to the fact that I talked about what you're going to eat, that's why we made available a meal plan it was done by a nutritionist. So it's a little bit more general, but you kind of get the idea. right, of what you are eating. So in the group, they also asked me, it does say in our plan to avoid eggs for the first 2 weeks. And they asked me why. And so I did this whole program with another nutritionist a while ago. And what he said was because of the saturated fat content for the first 2 weeks. And that is one of the main things about revving up the metabolism and speeding it up again. And if you feel that you do the crash diet and then you gain weight afterwards, that's not sustainable. So the whole idea again of you doing a challenge and keeping these habits is for it to be sustainable. Otherwise, you're going to be in that crash diet, yo-yo dieting type of lifestyle, and that is exhausting, right? If you restrict calories, that crashes your metabolism. So, and when we have the nutritionist here, she'll speak a little bit more in detail on this, but because it's one of my passions too, because I've been there. I did crazy competitions for yoga before, and the thinner the better. So I missed my periods, and I just didn't know. I was like in my early 20s at that time, so I just didn't know that those were the signs that my body was giving me of a absolutely crashed metabolism, right? So, and that's something important to remember. Also, we do say avoid alcohol for the challenge, and it's because also that makes it harder for the body to burn fat. So, and you want that. You want to up muscle and burn fat, right? When you're training and focusing on revving up your metabolism. Another cool thing about metabolism that I've learned is it's called TEF, which is the thermic effect of food. So about 15% of our metabolism is determined by this TEF. Okay, so it's the food that you eat. So if you look at the ingredient, the grocery list that I shared, a lot of the foods are thermogenic. So that is what that means is the energy that your body needs to break down a food and convert it into energy, which is basically, that's essentially what metabolism is, right? What you eat, you put in, and you're able to synthesize it, and it becomes energy. So protein, DJ shared with us, and this is something that nutritionist taught me, you always eat your protein first. The protein requires about 30% of its own calories for that to become energy for conversion. Okay. And carbs require a lot less, like 5, maybe 10%, depending on your metabolism. So because of that, also eat your protein first. Again, so just going to reiterate what he already said. And there is reasons for that. So we don't say that because, oh, it might be better. No, it's because also the way that your body synthesizes it. Okay. So the other thing is restriction of calories. So the crash diet, yo-yo dieting usually makes you go on a deficit of calories, and then you feel lethargic. And then you can even develop other more serious conditions if you keep doing that for too long. And even like eating disorders, right? Connected to that. So do it sustainably. Are you going to get it down like in 30 days? I'm going to get a lifestyle that's completely sustainable in 30 days. Maybe. Is it possible? Absolutely. It took me good like 10 years. Okay. For me to be in a place where I feel like this is sustainable. My exercise is sustainable. What I eat is sustainable. I have a little fun. I can go out of my norm and still feel great. Took me good 10 years. Does it have to take you 10 years? It doesn't, because I didn't have the tools that we have today. So with these tools, you can get to A to B much faster, more efficiently, smartly, right? So we kind of know, I know a little bit of the ways of doing it wrong and doing it smartly. And I teach people how to do it the smart way. So because I know what it's like to do it the wrong way. The wrong way was no good, right? I crashed my metabolism. You could see physically, energetically, you could feel and see that I wasn't in the place that it was sustainable. Okay. So much so that my body got really sick. Okay. And then really sick. So I had to really know sickness to know health. And my goal with my clients is that they don't have to know sickness to know health. You can just go right into that health path and keep doing the things that are sustainable. Okay. Does that make sense? Yeah. Cool. So that is the goal of our challenge. Okay. So maybe this challenge might be the time that you will be able to get the sustainability that you're looking for. Maybe this is the time that you're able to not be in that yo-yo type of lifestyle anymore, right? So you can have, it can be somewhat linear. It's never going to be linear, but it can be somewhat, you can cruise, right? And just be okay with the choices. So it makes things easier. Okay. Another thing that is important too, hydration. Okay, I'm going to bring hydration to the table again. We talked about that a whole lot last week with Dr. Carla, but these right here, I'm excited. These are the recharge electrolytes. DJ is excited too. He's excited too. These are awesome. Okay, so this will come available on the market on the 1st. And this is something that I feel like everybody should be using. Okay, Christina, go ahead.
I was just going to say regarding that packet, like one thing that I found to make it easier is to shake it a little bit first, because there's some really good stuff in that sachet and it all needs to get into your water. So if you don't shake it up first, like make sure you really squeeze it when you're getting it out, because you've got to get that good stuff in your water. It's so I love it. I'm so excited about that stuff coming out. For me, it tastes like another hydration drink on the market, which is not very good for you. It's an old hydration drink that was started like in the football, if you know the history of that hydration drink. But I think it tastes very, very similar, but it's so much better, right? The ingredients are like out of control, way better. The thing I did actually want to talk about, there's a couple things. Marcus talked about how everybody's metabolism is different, right? And there's athletes doing this, there's normal people, and then there's people like me, or whatever, who are people who have not been paying attention to their body, to their health. And so I think it's really critical to say this. Not everyone's going to see overnight results. Okay. When I first started taking MetaPWR, I was scared because I wasn't seeing anything. I wasn't seeing the weight loss that everybody else was experiencing. I wasn't seeing like outward signs on my body that everybody else was seeing. But when your metabolism is so messed up, it's all internal, like Marcus was saying. It's all so inside that it starts the healing process, that it does take a little bit of time to start seeing it on the outside. Furthermore, when you're always looking at yourself in the mirror, you don't always see changes. But when you go out into the world and your friends see you, they'll comment and they'll say, "My gosh, what are you doing? Like, you look great." And then you're like, "Me? I'm just taking my MetaPWR." And so it's really like, you're working hard and trying to fix your body, fix your life, fix your health in a natural way. And because it doesn't happen maybe so immediately, it can be discouraging. But I'm here to say, please don't be discouraged, because it'll happen. It'll happen when it needs to. It'll happen the way it needs to. And so that's the other thing about these like fad diets and yo-yo type of things, is that it's even actually making your metabolism worse. All right, so it's not helping your body in that meaningful way where you're going to have that lifestyle change. So for me, it actually took several months for me to feel like, I want to start moving my body now. I'm ready. I'm ready to do this sweat workout app. I'm ready to start climbing my hill. Like I live on this crazy hill in Oakland. And I noticed that after I started taking my MetaPWR regularly after several months, when I did start working out, I could walk up that hill and, it's a mile to the top. And I'm not joking when the gradient is like this. And for me to get like 3/4 of the way up, and then start feeling the tiredness rather than like one block is amazing. It was like, whoa, what? And then, slowly over time, I started noticing that, my joints were feeling better. They weren't crickety crackety when I was bending down to do things. So it's okay if it takes longer, is all I'm here to say. It's okay if you're not seeing results overnight. Give it a chance, trust the process, and just know that you're healing your body from the inside out.
I
And keep
love that,
Yes.
Christina.
And keep it up because like you said, you're gonna start wanting to drink more water. If you do drink alcohol, you're actually gonna feel like you don't want to do it anymore. If you drink caffeine products like coffee, you're gonna be like, I don't need that anymore. I've got my natural energy. And that's what caffeine is. It's all fake, right? It's giving you a fake idea of energy in your body. But when you have your body creating its own energy, it's like a whole nother level, guys. Stick with it. I promise you it's worth it.
Can I just comment too that it, again, along those lines, Christina, so it takes 21 days to create a habit. Statistically, there's books on that and everything. So that's why, again, this 30-day reset is perfect. But again, as far as cell turnover rate, it takes 4 months or 120 days, right, for you to have a whole new body. So again, we're, this 30-day reset is again, we're, some of us, like she said, if you're not feeling it right away, you're really just getting started. So just keep that in mind.
But I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing all of that. And I'm sharing here just a very simple overview of what not only the challenge, but what the MetaPWR system was created for. And our slogan there is live your most powerful life. And that is exactly why we do these challenges, is for us to be able to give ourselves a chance to see, hey, what would it be like, if I took this chance to add something new, do something different, and simplify the system. Okay, so the Dr. Carla was here and we talked about that a whole lot, Susanna, her and I and her husband yesterday. And could you have something a little bit more specific and tailored to you? Absolutely, right? But based on what we see in the general population, we want to help the most. We want to impact the most. We want to impact a huge number of people. And in the US, only 6.8% of people have ideal metabolic health. So the rest of us, 93% of people are not. So these are the 93% of people that we want to reach. That is our mission. I want people to be able to see that things can be easy, it can be simple to do, and you don't have to do it alone. Okay. There is another thing that I want to bring to the table too is, there's different schools of thought on caffeine, but I'm speaking to, I have two clients that are in the space of, they have that rebound weight. So rebound weight is when you diet for so long, or you just diet, you lose the weight, but then when you gain the weight, you gain it back, and you gain it maybe more than when you're trying to, when you started doing the diet. Okay. So that's basically like metabolism crashing and slowing down. And that is a product of the yo-yo dieting. So after the crash, because I had to do it, that's how I got connected to this nutritionist at that time. This is like over 10 years ago. Okay. So what he had me do, and that's something that I keep applying, and this can serve the general population. It is to up the protein intake. So I had to do that, right? We talked about this over and over. And so, yes, up the protein intake. I had to up my fiber intake. So you're talking fruits, vegetables, or even do we have a green powder and a fiber powder that you can do. So if you're not really good about going that extra mile to do like the foods and cook, so try to do things that will give you what you need, that is a little bit more practical. Okay. I had to obviously up my water intake and started doing electrolytes at that time. This is over 10 years ago. Okay. And he asked me if I would be okay adding caffeine to my routine. Okay. So I had at that time added green tea. And yes, I did add coffee. Different schools of thought on coffee. So, but just from results, I could see and I could feel that my metabolism started to get better. So I didn't feel sluggish because my metabolism was sluggish at that time. And another thing was to get enough sleep. Okay, so those were things that he recommended that to this day they sound easy, but when I wasn't doing them, it wasn't easy. So it's easy because it sounds easy, but it's simple. You don't need anything to get those things started, right? You just need to make sure that you're intentional about getting that in. Okay. And another thing too that I did is I didn't eat too late. So David Asprey, I like the guy. He was the one that made bulletproof coffee famous, right? I do take his MCT every day. I love it. And he was one of the teachers in one of the courses that I took, and he shared that the best thing to do in the morning, even for focus, is to get the fats in and not eat after the sun goes down. That's hard, right? That's hard, especially when the sun goes down really early. But you know what? I did it. I did it for a long time, and to the point where my body kind of got used to it. So a lot of the days during the week, I eat with the kids like 5:30 p.m. and then kind of done, just have some tea after. So if you can, those are just ideas. And it took me a long time to get this down. So just ideas, just try it. So maybe one of the things seems like, oh, this is cool. It's easy for me to do. Go for it. And then see what happens. Okay. So those are simple things to do. So I'm sharing here with you the whole system. And again, if you are in the challenge doing parts of the system, you have just enough to get this started. Okay. And the whole idea of this whole thing is for you to be able to live your most powerful life. Again, at the end of the day, every human being just wants to be happy. And this is why we keep doing this. Whatever tools we bring to the table, whatever talks we bring to this set the pace is to remind ourselves that, yes, yeah, you deserve to be truly happy. Anything else you guys want to share before we say goodbye?
Yeah, I would like to just make a note on the whole coffee thing already. I have used Ticino. This is a little plug for as we're looking for a coffee alternative. Ticino has been around for, I would say, at least 20 years. And I took a coffee break maybe 15 years ago, and it brews like coffee. They have like 30 different flavors, and I like they follow a lot of what doTERRA does when it comes to sourcing. They make sure they take pride in their sourcing. They work with their farmers. They give back to their communities where they source their ingredients from. And all of their stuff is made from dates, figs, Ramon seeds, if you've heard of that. And again, if you're looking for something different, this is the perfect way to try it. You can go to the website, or they sell it at health food stores. Like I think you can get it at Sprouts on the mainland, Whole Foods, and so on. But you can switch it out. You could brew it with coffee. Like you could start off doing like a half brew and like for a week, and then you do more Ticino and then coffee like the second week. And then guess what? By week 3, you'll just be drinking all of Ticino. And it's just, again, if you want to take a break from coffee during this reset, that's a great substitute. So I've used that, so many times over the years when I want to take a break from coffee. So
I love it. I love it. Anything else, Susanna, Marcus?
I think we're excited to see we starting the challenge today with our group. If you're more curious about what we're talking about here, please reach out, and I just can't wait to hear from our pips how they're gonna feel in a month. So I'm excited for that.
yeah,
Anything else, Susanna?
I would like to just make a note on the whole coffee thing already. I have used Ticino. This is a little plug for as we're looking for a coffee alternative. Ticino has been around for, I would say, at least 20 years. And I like
Going back to what we talked about, like Christina mentioned, sometimes we don't feel right at first because everything is happening on the inside. Uh, that's not exactly true with performance athletes, and we have one right in the studio that said that he felt an improvement in cardio like right away, right? So I don't want to say I'm up there, but I do feel a big difference because I've been working out for so long now, like more almost 2 years consistently, right? There was a little party on Saturday, and I ended up drinking, sipping on gin and juice. And yesterday I was like, oh gosh, oh my goodness. And I went there today, and I felt a difference. And that's another thing too. I mean, you talked about coffee. I'm talking about alcohol now, because you're so interested, or I mean, you investing all this time and this effort on improving your health, spending money on these supplements, and investing right on your body and all that. I mean, you end up thinking twice before you buy that bottle of liquor or bottle of wine. I mean, I enjoy my wine, don't get me wrong, but I just don't drink I don't have a glass of wine every day like I used to do. If you go to my fridge right now, there's not a single sip of alcohol in my fridge. Beers are not handy as they used to be, and it's just because I don't feel like. I feel that it decreases my performance on the day after because I gotta go to the gym. I got a community that is accountable for what I'm doing, and I got a coach that is, that I'm investing as well, that is willing to improve my performance and improve my health as a whole. So it's just a combination of a bunch of things, and overall, I feel great. I think that Project 5.0 is doing great. There's 3 more years, so we'll come back here and share the final results. Not the final, right? Like the life starts at 50 nowadays.
Yes,
All right.
yes, level 5 right here.
That is it. Okay, well, thank you so much for your presence. Thank you so much for your time. And again, the word for the year is sustainability, not in the sense of sustainability, just for what we do with recycling and all of that, but what's sustainable for you to keep in your life and keep doing it for years to come. Thank you. Aloha.
Thank you.